Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
From the Steel Valley Soccer Studios in Boardman, with Tim Walsh, Dan Conley, and Chris Platten. This is Pitchmen.
Welcome to Steel Valley Soccer. I'm Tim Walsh with Dan Conley. Dan, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Glad to be here. Glad to be a part of the team.
We are in the month of March. Hopefully this comes out in March. But we're going to talk a little bit about our pet peeves. Now, this is just you and I riffing a little bit about things that might not be pet peeves to everybody that we think is a little fun to talk about. What do you think?
I think this is going to be a fun conversation because my list is like things that I personally don't like as a coach and personally don't like as a fan at the same time.
Yeah, because everyone has strong opinions about things. Soccer is kind of a polarizing sport. You love things, you hate things. It's not a lot of middle ground. But to start us off, I always, for some reason, it irks me every time we're talking about soccer in the United States, whether it's on TV or just in person, and people use foreign slang for things that happen. For instance, someone scores their first goal of the season. Someone's like, "Oh, he opened his account." And I'm like, "Well, we don't say that here." Yes, you hear that on TV over there. Or they say, "What's the score?" It's 5-0. You're like, "No, it's 5-0. That's what we say here. It's 5-0. What do you think?
I kind of have something like that on there where when people across there refuse to call it soccer, they're like, it's football.
Yeah.
Football. It's like, I understand you can call it whatever you want to call it, but don't correct me because that's what we call it here.
And
that's something I've never thought about before, what you said there. And I agree with you now. That's something I never thought about until this very moment.
Hold on. You finally agree with me.
That's because it's stuff about the game, not during the game.
During the game, you and I are almost fist fighting on the sidelines. But yeah, when people call it, I remember it was raining maybe last year before that one. It was raining out, and someone was like, "Oh, I don't think the pitch will be ready for it." Like, it's a field. We call it a field. Nowhere else ever has that person ever, until they saw it on TV one time and liked it. That's not how we talk. We keep trying to interject this slang from other countries to make it sound cooler or better. I don't know. One of my
It just makes you. Maybe people think it gives them like a couple extra IQ points.
Yeah, it's like, I know soccer because I've heard this before. But and if people do this, don't be offended. If you're sitting at home right now, yeah, I say pitch all the time. Yeah, it's not necessarily you; it's everybody in general. So, do you have one you want to share? We'll go back and forth.
Yeah, I kind of have two, but they kind of go together here. The first one I want to talk about is the new offsides rule, about how they let you run 20, 30 yards down the field before they call it back. It absolutely boils my blood that they make players make a run down the field, could be causing a collision that's not needed or anything like that, or just exert energy that they could use for a different part of the game when they know they're going to stop as soon as he touches it. Just blow the damn whistle right now and stop the game. Man, does that irk me.
That 100%. How many times have we seen in the last 2 years of doing games live that they're offsides? You can tell the guy kind of stops where he's at, the AR, and you know he's going to raise the flag in a second, and they're going to blow the whistle, or he already has raised the flag, and they got to wait to blow the whistle. But there's contact, and it might be someone getting injured at the end of it. It happened at least a dozen times.
Yeah. Or the player starts running. They're like, "Am I offsides?" Or they kind of stop the run. They stop to go. Maybe they're onside. Maybe they're not. Just end all BS and call it right away.
Agreed. Again, we agree. I mean, how does that happen? What's your second part of that? You said
the second part of that is on the other side of the ball when this is going on, when defenders stop playing and raise their hand for offsides. No matter what you do as a coach, no matter what you say, you know it's wrong. It's just instinctual. You stop, you look at the sideline, look for the flag, you raise your arm, and then the ball ends up in the back of the net. It's a coachable moment, teachable moment that happens all the time, but it does not matter. Players do it, and I'm sure I've done it my fair share of time.
Oh yeah, and It's okay to put your hand up as long as you're running and staying with the play. You've given your signal, but why do you stop?
Yeah, and then after the goal gets scored, you're like, but I raised my hand.
Did you not agree with me? Did you not see what I saw? Another one I have is players nowadays are wearing 2 socks on each foot. So they cut their sock. So they have one that covers up their shin guard and everything, and then they have another like sock underneath that goes where the shoe goes, and not the boot. It's not a boot. It's a shoe or a cleat. Go ahead.
I'm gonna cross that off my list here because I also had that. This is weird. Us talking about the same stuff here. I don't understand it. I don't understand what the thought process is. Do you have like, everyone has like your church socks that have holes in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your holy
Do
socks.
they just wear like an older pair of socks underneath and like a nice pair of socks on top? I don't get why you need 2 things to do what one sock can do, and especially when you got to ruin your top pair of socks by cutting them off.
I
I
understand.
don't understand.
No, like you say, if it is a holy sock and it's like ruined and you're like, man, I still like the way it looks because it's fine up here, but it's down at the bottom. That I can see a little bit. That's still kind of weird. Just go out and buy some other socks or ask your coach. They usually have extra. But this is what we're talking about is 2 perfectly good brand new sets of socks that they're cutting and wearing in tandem for no reason.
Right. Do we sound like crotchety old men talking about this?
Oh God, we have
Is it
to.
just is this just like a new wave thing? Like, because when we started playing, before we started playing, people used to like roll the top of their sock over top of the shin guard down. You pull the sock all the way up, put your shin guard on, and then roll it down. And we're like, no, then it stopped doing that when we started playing. You just pull it straight over top, and that's why you started needing tape for socks.
Yeah.
Are we like the people on the other side of that? They're saying just roll your socks over. Is this
I
what we're
think-
doing right now?
Hopefully in 20 years, someone's going to be talking about, look what these kids are doing now. We used to cut our socks and that was awesome, but now they're doing this.
Now we have 3. Yeah.
What else you got?
All right. During throw-ins, the lack of care from where the throw-in's being taken. When there's a direct free kick, indirect free kick, offsides, referees like, no, it has to be exactly where my flag is pointing to the inch. But throw-ins, you could be 20 yards up the field and throw it in, and no one bats an eye.
Yes.
I don't understand why it's okay here but not there.
I've seen that. I've also seen it the other way a couple times to where a player takes like one step and like, no. I think it's more of a power trip on the referee side of things that to stop it if it's nothing crazy, like a couple steps here or there, okay. But I've seen you like they get the ball and they do a running start 5, 6, 7 steps and then throw it from about 20 yards ahead. And no, yeah, you're right. Everyone's just like, oh, good job. You got the ball back in play. Let's keep going.
Anything else, any other sport where the ball goes out is exactly where it comes back into play at. And I understand like a throw-in's different than a free kick because the ball's already in play. It's in a fixated position.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing it in, you kind of move to do it. But most of the time, wherever the ball goes out, that's where players start the run to throw it in at. So you're at least 5 yards. And I understand it. Again, I do the same thing. It's just a weird lack of consistency between things.
Talk about throw-ins. I remember years ago the you can have both feet basically on the field as long as one heel of one foot or maybe both heels of both feet are on at least the line. You could have the rest of your foot on the field. And I remember I was in the wrong there. I was complaining to a ref a little bit, very politely, mind you. And
I'm sure.
And the Canfield player, I think it was Accordino, was throwing it 40 yards on a rope. And I'm like, hey, do you see what he's doing here? And the guy was very polite, came to me after. He's like, no, they're allowed to do that. Check it out. I even went to FIFA on Twitter and wrote to them, was like, why is this? They gave me an explanation, and I don't remember it.
FIFA replied back to you for that, but they wouldn't tell me where my FIFA points went when I loaded them into my account. They didn't give them to me. That makes me a little bit mad. I have another thing I want to talk about right now.
That grinds my gears. Let's go. Number 6 on the list. And I know this one we're not going to agree on because I think we've talked about this before.
Okay.
Using numbers to say positions instead of saying this person's a striker, this person's a midfielder, this person's an attacking center mid, this person's defensive center mid, this person's a goalie. They give them, well, he's a number 6, but he could play like in the number 8 position, and he plays the false 9. And I'm like, for some reason, I don't know why. I think it's because it's a little bit pretentious. It's a little bit elitist and like, I know this, and not everybody's going to know this, so I'm going to talk this way.
Right. I'm going to split the bean here with you on what you're saying. I agree with you if it's just like you and I talking casually with a parent, and they're saying, "Oh, my son plays number 7 or he plays the number 6 role." I think that's just say the position. But if you're giving direction to a player on the field and you're playing, say if you have like stack center mids side by side, if you tell one, "Hey, I want you to play more of a number 8 role, and I want the other one to play number 6 role," I think it's better. It's okay if you're giving like direct, um, telling them directly. I think it makes more sense to the player and everybody else, so they understand more what you're going for.
Yeah, in your situation, your scenario you just came up with, you need to be more specific.
Right.
And so saying 6 and 8 will get there a little bit quicker than using a bunch of words. But like you say, if you're talking to a parent, if you're talking to somebody like, oh, I want to put this person here and I want to put him in the 6 role. And there's a couple people that do it that are okay, and it just kind of makes me smile. But there's a couple people back when I was younger that would say stuff like that, and it would be they were trying to talk down to me. And I think that's the whole thing that basically me off. So
How long have you been waiting to hit that button when you're saying this?
These buttons are nice and bright on this Rodecaster Pro 2, and I really want to use them today, I guess.
That was good use of it.
Thank you. What else you got? What's another one?
This is yellow cards for pulling your shirt up or off when celebrating. I think like especially more so in the professional game, there's a lot of buildup. There's a lot of things that have to go right for you to score a goal. And it should be celebrated. And you can do what you want to do. You can do the same thing, just don't pull your shirt up. And then I did research into why that became a rule.
Yes, I saw that video. Go ahead.
I don't know what you're talking about, but because I read it, maybe it's the same thing. Sponsorships pay a lot of money to have their logo on the front of your jersey. So that's part of the reason why they don't allow you to do it. And it's also like political reasons too. But I just think it's there's a whole lot of things you could worry about in the game. That's one of them I just don't like.
The one I'm talking about, there's an Italian player who took his shirt off after scoring, gets back and couldn't get it back on. So he played like shirtless and with his like both hands tied in basically to his shirt, and he could not get it back on as the play was going on. And they ended up yellow carding him for that, and that was like a big deal, turning point for it.
Well, that guy's an idiot. He should be yellow carded. If you pull your shirt off and you can't get it back on, here's your sign. Take your card. Go sit down.
I swear I just saw this video. It's looking Manchester United over Liverpool in 2024. It happened. 2022 World Cup. It happened. The very famous Balotelli. I'll figure it out.
Gets what Bello wants.
Yeah, I still love when he came to the United States as one of their Manchester City tours, and he tried to turn and heel it into the goal and missed, and everyone got mad, and he got subbed instantly.
That happened to me when I was coaching. When a player did that, ran around in the back, heel it.
Because they had no left foot.
Sub off right away, but yeah.
Did you go on that one? Yes, taking your shirt off.
Yes. Yep.
A lot of mine are now coaching related. One of my big pet peeves is when in a high school program, everybody getting new equipment. And I know this could be debated, and I could see a little bit of the other side. But from growing up to playing, coaching, and now, if you're a freshman and you play JV, should you get the best jersey and the best bag and the best everything? Or should it be a hand-me-down from the varsity gets it because they're the number one key? And everything they have, when they get something new, they hand down whatever they had to the JV. What do you think about that?
Completely agree.
Oh,
and this is something that we dealt with when we were coaching as well. This is something when I was playing. I mean, when you're coming up through the ranks and you're coming in your freshman year, and you get to see the jersey that's been passed down, probably been worn by 5-6 different players before, and you see varsity wearing these nice, pristine, crisp, clean-looking jerseys. There's incentive to want to go put that jersey on. Mm-hmm. And I think there needs to be a difference too. And I mean, I understand when programs buy one set for everybody. I get it. It could be logistics. It could be money, whatever. But I always think like the varsity stuff should be at least a step better than the JV stuff. And that should give the players a little more incentive to go work harder, make it done, and be able to put that stuff on.
Yeah, I remember arguing with a parent, which it kind of sounds like I argue a lot, but it's been around a long time, so you get good and bad, but we always talk about the bad.
But you do argue a lot, don't kid yourself.
I love arguing. But they were saying like, well, my kid's just the same doing the same fundraisers. Why can't they get it? And then my thing is, well, why don't they get postseason awards? Why isn't there a playoffs for JV? Why don't they play under the lights? Why don't they get their name announced with the national anthem? Because varsity is kind of the big show when it comes to high school soccer.
Yeah.
JV's the feeder system. Some teams have 2 JVs. Some teams have a freshman team too. Like, you can't be special for everybody. It should be a graduated, the best get the best.
Right. Now, if your team has like really bad jerseys or really bad equipment, then maybe I get definitely just hit a reset button here and
Yes.
there. But especially like getting new equipment for JV as well. It's just always past like big brother, little brother stuff. It is
Yeah.
what it is. You're gonna get what he had before you.
And it's incentivizing going and making the varsity team. Like, they don't have JV jackets. You don't get anything you can put on your jacket for, whatever a non-letter would be. So
Yeah, I also wonder if this is more of like what we don't like about today's or participation trophies and everybody being included. That could kind of come from there. We were kind of raised in the old school method of what we talked about, so we're kind of both entrenched in that same way of thinking. This could just be the new way things are done now too, where everybody gets what everybody wants.
yeah, and it's just, here's another couple $1,000 let's spend, because everybody needs to have that special looking bag, not the one that. And like you say, if it's ripped, if it smells like cat urine, if it is just totally destroyed, absolutely get that person someone that's a new one if you have to. But getting the whole
cat
team.
urine, you've had some interesting experiences, I guess.
I remember a player that bag jersey wasn't quite white at the end of the season. Let's say it was a little dirty and dingier than you'd want it to be.
I don't know why that made me think of like our pennies that we use.
Oh God, how
And
terrible
my
they
rule,
smell.
was I wouldn't wash them until like we won or something like that, or give them incentive to go out and do something because they would get. It seemed like they'd be nice smelling, all good to go. Then all of a sudden, you go one day at practice, pull them out, and you're like, "What the hell died in here?" And you're like, "I'm sorry, guys." It would take like 3-4 washes to get them clean and appropriate to wear again.
That smell never goes out. I know of some teams that they give you pennies, and your job is to make sure they come to practice and they're washed all the time.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
No, that is not a bad idea.
It
I
adds
like that.
another element of making sure everyone has equipment to practice in. But yeah,
And then if you don't bring yours, you get the stinky kind that's been sitting in the bag for a year.
I like it a lot now.
What else do you have, Dan?
All right, this is again more for the professional side, and it's like the fixed amount of subs. It used to be 3 for a long time, and I really disliked that. And then once COVID came, for whatever reason, they made it 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like the more subs. I don't like, your teams, professional teams have a lot of really good players on it, and to only allow 14 total to play in a single game is pretty odd to me, especially with how vastly different you might want to do. If you look at like the high school game, there's a lot of things you might like beginning of the game to the end of the game. You may have a whole different philosophy of what you're doing and a whole different personnel group in. And I understand you do this stuff on the training ground to get where you want to go, but I just don't understand if you want to play the game at the most highest level and have the best soccer that you can see from minute 1 to minute 90. Open up the subbing and let them sub. Then you'll have a better product for all 90 minutes instead of like the last 15 being like everything you got in the bottom of your tank. I understand it, but I don't see anything wrong with giving someone a 3-minute breather.
No, I'm all for it too. And when you want to change tactics and you give, you send a guy in on a sub and tell the guys here, this is what we're changing it to. I like that. The only thing that I could see is that subbing in high school, guys on the line, he runs in, the other guy runs out. It's like a 10-second thing. Subbing in the pros, it's like 5 minutes. And if you have unlimited subs, you could really kill the clock like that, and then it becomes an issue. But I'm sure they can figure a way around that, and I agree. It should be unlimited subs of as many times as you want. Take a guy off, take a guy on.
That's a good point about the time thing too.
But I think there's only one sport that I know of, baseball. Once you take the pitcher out, they can't go back in. And I think that's more of a safety to his arm type thing. But outside of that, can you think of any other sport where you can't, like, as soon as someone gets subbed out, they're done?
No, I can't.
Can you imagine basketball be run like that? Like, you have 3 subs that whole game, bud. Enjoy.
Yeah. Subs shouldn't be like, all right, just sit here, and it should be there to, to get a breather and stuff like that, not to sit there and think about what you did for that whole game that you just played.
Let's see. I only got a couple more.
I've only got 2.
Well, I got one. I got one specific to today.
Okay.
Outdoor soccer tournaments in March when the temperature is below freezing. I just sat through a game my daughter played at the Hall of Fame fields in Canton, and I could not feel my fingers, my toes. She came off. She thought she had hypothermia. I'm like, this is awful. Tomorrow there's supposed to be a game at 8 in the morning, temperature 21, wind chill 12 degrees. How do they still have that?
It's like the end of the year tournaments as well. I think I go into like late November.
Yeah.
I agree. It's such a crapshoot. Sometimes the weather's good, sometimes it's not. But most of the time, this time of the year, it's not, and the field conditions are terrible. Do you know why they do that, Tim?
Money.
Money. There you go.
Hey, do I have a sound effect for that? Darn it.
Anybody who's played at the
No, you're right. Go ahead.
Anybody who's played like the Madison tournament at the end of the year, that's like the last tournament of the season, and it's up on the lake. It's like at the end of November, and it's always notoriously cold. Sometimes it's snow. It's a good time, but you know you're signing up for when you go to play in that tournament every year.
Along the same lines of timelines, I also hate that at the beginning of the high school year, they only give like the teams, hey, you can try out August 1st, your first game's in 2 weeks. I feel like that doesn't, especially us and what we do, it would be so nice if they were like, yeah, we picked our team like a month ago. We got our jerseys, we got our pictures, we know who we have, we can set up our rosters to you. No, these coaches are flying by the seat of their pants, making sure everybody has their uniforms, making sure the buses are on time, making sure the schedule's right. Us asking for a roster, they're like, oh, we don't even have that. I don't even know what you're talking about. So I think a little bit more time from making the team to having the first game. I mean, you know, 17 days is, and most people don't do it right on the 1st or 2nd of August. So you figure 10 days to get everything together and ready for your season is not enough.
I completely agree with you.
Man, we're on a roll today. All right, Dan, give me your last best one.
Last best one. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Diving. Since when did it start that soccer players are going to dive to try to get fouls? I don't know why it started. It's like there's 2 main complaints from people who are outside of soccer as a thing that they don't like about it. One is the lack of scoring. It is what it is. I just always tell people they don't have enough intellect to understand the beauty of what they're watching.
Correct. 100% correct.
And the second thing is the diving. You can't defend it. You can't defend it at all. It's not so bad in the girls' game. The girls' game, they just kind of get up and play how they should be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand when people, they try to act like they got their leg broken when they don't sometimes even get touched. Especially with as many cameras that are on them right now as there are. They don't get away with it anymore. Yeah,
or the guy who like they put a opposing player puts their hand on their shoulder and they fall down and like roll around. You're like, what in the world are we? I think we should have video evidence, VAR, go back. If it's something that's so obvious, they should be red carded. Get them out of the game.
Right. And I know you can get yellow carded for simulation and stuff like that, but it's so hard to spot. The game's so fast. Things happen, bam, 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 and then you got to worry about this person's acting like they got their leg broken. They probably got hit. Then you go back and look like, oh no, he's embellishing it. Like, as a referee, you got enough things to worry about. Having to worry about someone faking an injury is also.
And in the pros, they have your center ref, your ARs, a 4th official right there, and I want to say they have a 5th official that's totally just looking at it on a TV monitor for things like that. They should be able to warn them like, hey, listen, this guy just totally dove. It's a total act job. Let's get this out of the game.
Yeah.
Man, we are. No wonder why we coach together, huh?
Right.
So let's put all our best players on offense. All right.
Said one person ever.
Dan, we're going to transition from this and have a commercial break. Always a pleasure talking to you. I'll see you later.
Thank you very much for having me.
Pitchman is brought to you by...
Did you miss the last Youngstown Phantoms hockey game? Catch up with the Dump and Chase podcast.
He's a pretty big guy, and he was the only one with hair. I am, of course, talking about assistant coach Brandon Gawkin. Brandon, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for all your support. It's great, the stuff that you guys do and how much coverage you bring. I know we appreciate it a lot as a coaching staff, and our guys really appreciate it. So thank you so much for putting all this hard work in.
The Dump and Chase podcast, Wednesdays at 5, right here on Western Reserve Radio and the iMedia One Network.
I'm Tim.
And I'm Dan.
and Chris. This is Pitchmen, the Steel Valley Soccer Podcast.
We cover all things high school soccer in the Mahoning Valley.
Catch our episodes on Spotify,
Or visit our website for the skill,
In the back of the net.
the teams,
Mitchell with the shot. Goal! Finds the back of the net.
and the soundboard.
Is the best net. For more information, go to steelvalleysoccer.com.
All right, welcome here. We are with Chloe Smith of Austintown Fitch High School. Chloe's a two-time All-Conference, first-team All-District last year, and second-team All-Steel Valley soccer defender who also runs the 100, 200, 4x2, and 4x1 in track. Chloe, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, today is a good day. Let's start with the first one I see up on your profile we have online from the people who played in the All-Star game. Junior coming back next year as a senior, playing for Akron Canton United Force. What made you pick that club team?
So last year, I actually played for FC Evolution, where the old Howland boys coach, Brian Stiles, coached. So he moved to Canton Akron United Force and asked me to come. So I went.
Absolutely. He's definitely one of the best coaches around. He just announced last week that he's stepping down, but he's still going to be with the Force, so good for him. When did you start playing? Like, obviously, the path is usually you play rec, you play travel, you play club, leads you into high school. When did you start playing?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that's pretty spot on. I started playing rec when I was probably 5 or 6, and then started playing travel like 6th, 7th grade, and then club came like 7th or 8th for me.
That's good. Are there any coaches that you've had throughout your history that really had an impact on you that you want to mention today?
Like, honestly, working with Coach Brian has like had such like a direct, like, quick impact on me. It's like actually insane. Like, he's just so that it's like I feel like he literally knows everything about the game, and it's just so easy to like learn from him. So like, honestly, I have to say Coach Brian.
Good. He's a really nice guy. I'm sure he's appreciating that. What do you think is your greatest soccer accomplishment?
I feel like it's not really like an award thing. I feel like it's more like the friendships I've made. I feel like especially through club and stuff like that. I feel like those like friendships are ones that like I'll be able to have forever.
Yeah, that's a lot of people think of, playing club soccer and playing sports in general to get a college scholarship. That's the end goal, but that's not really it. It's getting those friendships, having those lifelong relationships, and building something as a team. Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of teams, you guys have a new coach. Talk a little bit about how that's been going so far and who it is.
So our new coach is Kara Garland. I sadly haven't got the chance to meet her yet because I've been running track and playing club, but I hear great things about her, and I can't wait to work with her this coming season. I feel like she'll be able to have an impact on our team, like as a coach, and like honestly, from what I've heard, as a really good person. So I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, Kara's a great person. I think she's going to do a wonderful job. I can't wait to see how that's going for the next couple of years. But let's backtrack just a little bit. Let's talk more about, do you have a favorite soccer memory? Like, not an accomplishment, but a favorite soccer memory.
My favorite soccer memory recently, we went to the Southern Soccer Showcase for club in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It was probably one of the funnest times I've had ever. Like, just hanging out in the hotel with all my teammates and like winning, like it's just great. Like, I think that was my favorite memory.
It's not all about winning, but winning is definitely a lot more fun than losing.
For sure.
When did you realize as a player that you were above average, a little bit better than the rest of the kids that you were playing with?
I feel like I never really thought about it like that. Like, I feel like I just focus on myself and like figure out how I can improve as a player. So I feel like I try to like build off the people that are around me, but I feel like I just majorly focus on myself. Like, how do I get better?
That's good.
Like
yeah. A lot of people, when we talked about last year, the All-Star game, like who are we going to have, your name was submitted, I think, a dozen times for someone that should be in the game if it wasn't already in there. I was like, no, she's already in. We don't need any more people saying that. speaking of games, there's some big games you had this year. Do you have a pre-game routine? Maybe something you eat, music you listen to? Is there something you do before games?
Oh yeah. So pregame routine, I always have peanut butter and jelly sandwich before every single game. Every single game, I literally can't miss it. And then I really like my go-to song is probably Ain't No Mountain High Enough. I think that gets me really pumped like before the games.
That gets you pumped?
Yes, like it's saying like I can literally like ain't no mountain high enough. Like I can accomplish everything. Like I'm about to win this game.
I like it. That's not one I think if you gave me a list of 100, I wouldn't pick it as one of them. But yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Now, I know that you have two brothers that played sports, Randy and
Yep.
God, I can't think. Cameron. But
Yep.
I think that you're the best athlete in the family. So did that come from mom's side or dad's side or, Grandma Arlene?
So,
Who was the one that gave you all of it?
So I feel like my dad, like we're a primarily like football family. All of our like athletics, I would say, come from my dad. My mom very like speech and debate kind of stuff like that. But like, yeah, I would say all of like our athletic genes came from my dad.
Man, your mom's going to beat you for that one. Just a last couple of questions. We try to keep it between 5 minutes, but it always goes over. Is there a teacher? I know I said a coach. Is there a teacher or other adult or maybe an older brother, sister that affected you and really pushed you to be the person that you are today?
I would say both of my brothers. I feel like just watching them like have such a strong passion and love for football like helped me develop like my love for soccer because it just like it teach me like the value of hard work and like dedication and like putting your heart like towards something that you love. So I would say definitely them.
Oh, good. Last question for you. I always give people the last 30 seconds to say something nice and thank their parents because nothing is accomplished alone, and your parents are a very big part of your life. So if you want to take the next couple seconds and thank your parents, they'll be happy to hear this on the podcast.
Yeah, for sure. Like I feel like without them, I wouldn't be able to like be where I am right now. Like I would have had no way of getting to practice, getting to tournaments, or like even playing club. I think I'm most thankful that they believe in me and push me to be the best person I could possibly be, like on and off the field. And I'm just so insanely grateful for them.
All right. Well, Chloe, thank you so much for the interview. I hope all the success for the season coming up and hope to see you soon.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Take care.
You too.
We're here with Michael Daley of Poland. Michael was a second-team All-District 2 years ago, second-team All-Conference, and last year he was first-team All-Conference, first-team All-District, Conference Player of the Year, Steel Valley Soccer Elite 11 goalie, and Brick Wall Award winner. So, Michael, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, just great. Things we always ask the kids, when did you start realizing that you were an above-average player?
Oh, thank you for saying that. Really, after my freshman year of high school, that's when I really realized that I wanted to be a great player and impact the Poland program in a positive way. So I started working hard in the winter, in the spring up at Kronus Academy with Anton Shvadnov, and just putting a lot of work in there. And going into my summer of preseason with Poland sophomore year, I went to Kronus camp, which is a week-long camp with keepers from across America and some foreign keepers also. So I learned a lot there. And that's when I really got my confidence up. And my first ever varsity start was actually Friday Night Football. Poland versus Ursuline was the game of the week. So I was really, really nervous, not only because it was being broadcasted, but because I had so many great seniors above me. I just didn't want to let them down. So winning that Player of the Game award that game that's what really was the shift. That's what upped my confidence so much.
Well, absolutely. We were, we try to keep our eye on some of the great talent here. And, some of the younger guys, when they're freshmen and sophomores, we don't get to see a lot of them. But that was kind of like your coming out party. You had a wonderful time there, and you did a great job at the All-Star game.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a fun year.
What was your path like? When did you start playing soccer? Because most players go, rec, travel, club. What was your path for you?
I started playing the first year I could. I played kindergarten rec back on the small nets. Like, it was chaotic, and I really liked it. So I tried out for the travel team in 4th grade. I actually wasn't a goalkeeper until 6th grade when our travel coach said, "Hey, we need a goalie." Our old goalie was actually my center back this year, AJ Lisco, and he was like, "I don't want to play goalie anymore. I want to try to play defense." So I was like, "Yeah, I'll give it a try. I'll throw the gloves on," and loved it ever since.
Which club do you play for right now?
I play for LC Select in Pennsylvania under Zach Walters, and he's the teal coach.
All right, so what made you choose that? Hermitage is a little bit farther out.
I love it, and I feel really fortunate because apart from soccer, I also played varsity basketball and varsity baseball, and he's extremely supportive and accommodating to my schedule in those seasons, and I just really, really appreciate him, my other coaches there, and my teammates there. They're all amazing to me, and I think of them as brothers. And it's just a family out there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What would you say is your greatest soccer accomplishment so far?
Oh, I got to go back to 2022, our district championship against Harvey. Not just specifically for me, but because that was the senior year of the class of 2022. Or, yeah, was that 2022 or 2023?
The season was 2022, but they'd be the class of 2023.
There you go. But that was Noah Huda and all that huge senior class, and they've been playing for each other for years. And they went to 3 district championships in a row. They lost the first 2 heartbreakingly, so I just want to get them that win. And when we won, and it was just a huge moment, not only for me but for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. You had a great season that 2022 year. You had 12 shutouts, which I believe is a record. Some consecutive shutouts too, as well.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is your favorite soccer memory?
My favorite soccer memory is it's got to be going up to the Madison tournament back in the travel days. Just staying in the hotel with the team, playing like mini soccer on like those hockey nets in the hallways. And actually, the year we won that, we were in the championship game, and it was a 0-0 game going into the second half, and tornado warning came out. So we all rushed to the tents to see who got the better goal differential, and that's how we won our Madison tournament.
That's awesome. It's funny how all the details of a good memory are going to be stuck in your head probably for life.
Yeah.
Speaking of games that, there's a lot of pressure, especially on a goalie, because anytime you make a mistake, it's amplified because there's no one behind you to help you out. So how do you prepare, and do you have a pregame ritual or routine that you do?
Sure. Well, depending on the time of the game, if it's a weekday or whatnot, I always like to come home and put on a good sports movie that just like gets me in the mood, And then I always arrive early. If there's a JV game, always watching the JV games a must, just because those are like the younger boys and they're going to be coming up. So we got to give them all the support that they need. And then I always either use a tennis ball or like a lacrosse ball. I like to throw it at a brick wall and do like baseball infielder drills to kind of get my hand-eye coordination going.
Nice. Is there any type of food that you eat before a game or anything?
My mom makes a really, really good chicken bruschetta pasta. So anytime we have a big game,
I'm sure she'll love hearing that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Is there any music that you listen to? Any particular song or just genre that you listen to?
I listen to all genres of music, really depending on the week or the day I'm having. But if there's one go-to song, I would probably say "Heartless" by Kanye West. It's a classic. It's good for any mood that I'm in, and it always gets me ready to play.
That's awesome.
And yeah, actually, this is a funny story, but in our the night before our district championship game, my sophomore year, I made a playlist that was exactly the length of the bus ride to Lakeview High School, plus like a couple minutes. And the cover of that album was your guys's. It was your image of like the Harvey pick.
Oh, get out!
The district championship one, mm-hmm. Just for a little extra inspiration.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we can help out, I guess. Last couple questions. Is there a teacher or former coach that you've had that has impacted you and someone who you kind of want to recognize in this moment?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Obviously, before I name the specific person I have in mind, I really want to give a shout out to the whole high school coaching staff, Coach Garkar, Coach Storkel, Coach Nemeth, and one of the alum, Coach Antil. They've been nothing but excellent to me and my teammates when I've gone through the program. And another shout out to the coaches at Cronus, Coach Anton, Coach Augusto, Coach Silva. They've really helped me develop as a player. But the main person I wanted to thank is my travel coach, and actually my rec coach before travel, who convinced me to play travel. His son Colin is on my team. He's a co-captain with he was a co-captain with me this year, and growing up with him and just playing soccer under his dad, it just really made me fall in love with the game. So I'm really thankful for him. And also, he was nothing but encouraging when I was struggling to play keeper at first, and it's gotten me pretty far. So I'm just really thankful for him.
Well, that's awesome. I'm sure he'll appreciate that. Last question.
Yeah.
Formal question, then I ask some goofy ones. The last formal question, I always say, take 30 seconds and thank your parents for being in the position that you
Sure.
are.
My parents obviously are amazing. They take me anywhere I need to go. They pay any cost that I need to pay. But apart from all of that, they're just always my biggest fans. And I don't know where I would be without them. So I'm really, really thankful to have them come to every single game. And apart from them, I also like to thank my grandparents. I know not everyone's lucky enough to have their grandparents to come to their games, but my grandparents are always there. So I'm really thankful for them too.
I hope they enjoy hearing that. Last couple goofy questions. How cold was it, and do you still have the pajama pants from the 2 years ago All-Star game?
I do have them.
Get it.
Before that game, I took them off, and I was like, "Nah, I'm putting them back on. It's too cold." So.
I think while we were watching that, we were like, "Yeah, it's a great save, great save." Is he in pajama pants? I think he is. It's got to be tradition now.
Go make a name for yourself somehow. Publicity stunt.
Absolutely. Moving forward into this next upcoming season, what are some of the goals that your team is setting? Because, like you said, you're district champs. Last year, I don't think you might not have been. I don't know about how you did in the conference, but what are you looking forward to accomplishing this upcoming season?
Obviously, Coach Garkar always says we have 3 seasons in 1 season. We have the out-of-conference games, which are kind of like a preseason in a way. There's some pretty good games. We got Canfield in there, and obviously it's Battle of 224, so we want to win that one. But that's just getting us ready for the second 2 seasons. Second season is NE8 play. We need to win the NE8 this year. Hubbard beat us last year at Hubbard in the second round when we played them. We were up 1-0 at halftime, and there was an hour-long weather delay, pouring down rain. We came out. We just weren't ready to play, and they scored 2 goals, 1. So that was a pretty rough way to lose that one. And obviously, with the amount of seniors we have this year, we want to make a tournament run. We want to go farther than districts. So we've been putting in work, and we are hoping to do so. It's going to be interesting what the new divisions are, though.
Absolutely. And so far, each year that we have done a top 10 plays, you have been on the unfortunate side of being on the receiving side of a goal.
Yep.
But I think that plays into you being such a good keeper that if they can put a goal in against you, that's got to be a top 10 play. So hopefully we don't make it 3 for 3.
What was it? That was Landon Mitchell my sophomore year, Boardman. And then Caleb Rhodes with his free kick.
Absolutely. 2 goals that
Those
were
are
just
two brutal memories.
And I think just, to get one past you, they have to have some type of Herculean effort to make it happen. So, Michael Daley, thank you so much for being with us today, and good luck on your season.
Thank you so much.
All right. We're here with Ava Hipple, the junior goalkeeper from Lakeview, who as a, sophomore, second team All-District, Brick Wall Award finalist, and second team All-Steel Valley. Last year, she was first team All-District, All-Steel Valley Elite 11, second team All-Conference, second team All-State, and our Steel Valley Soccer Brick Wall Award winner. Ava, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
Good. When did you start to realize that you were a little bit better than the rest of the people, like you were an above average player?
So I never actually realized that I had the significant talent over the other keepers around us. I only just started to notice probably my sophomore year. I had people hyping me up, at games. And then you guys noticed me, I believe it was my sophomore year. Is that correct?
That's right.
So you guys noticed me my sophomore year. And then I started to look at that. I was like, maybe I'm different than everybody else,
Absolutely. And that sophomore year, 59 saves, 11 shutouts, district championship win. You had a very, very good season. How did you get into the game? A lot of people start at the rec level, then go to travel club. How old were you, and when did you start playing soccer?
So I was about 5. My parents signed me up to play. It was like an all-inclusive decision that they were going to sign me and my sister up to play a sport. And it happened to be soccer because soccer sign-ups they fell right around when I started kindergarten. So I did start at that rec level playing for Lakeview. And then I made my way up to where I am now, still playing for Lakeview.
Nice. What would you say is your greatest soccer accomplishment?
So I'd have to say that would be my junior year. I got to go to that state banquet for that second team all-state.
Yeah, that's an impression. Not everybody can say that they were an all-state player, and you already have one under your belt with another year of eligibility left over. That might have been your greatest accomplishment, but what's your favorite soccer memory?
My favorite memory happens to be from that rec league. I do remember playing. It was pouring one day. We were playing on a grass field, so it got very muddy. And, of course, I was playing keeper. So I'd say it'd be playing in pretty much a pig pen. We were all muddy afterwards. That was probably one of the funniest memories, too.
Well, that's awesome. That's always, you remember it at the time, and you're like, man, I can remember almost every detail of that day. It was such a profound memory.
Right, yeah, that's what makes it pretty cool.
So, when you get ready for a game, I mean, being a goalie in that position, you can't make mistakes because every mistake you make is going to be magnified. There's no one, backing you up that can help out the team.
Right.
What do you do as a pre-game routine or ritual that gets you ready and pumped up for the game?
So me and my assistant coach, Coach Augustine, we kind of have a ritual. We've done it since my freshman year. He kind of just, we do some footwork, just, simple passes. Then we'll move up to some mid-height saves, and then he'll shoot from about the 20-yard line. We don't really do much, honestly, just to get, me warmed up. And then we'll have the team do some, shooting from, they'll dribble and then take a shot. And then, of course, we do corners.
Yeah, well, whatever you do, at the All-Star game, we had a lot of other coaches and other players and even parents coming up and saying, at goalie, what's her name? She had a fantastic game. There's shot after shot, and she was just parrying everything away. So whatever you do, keep doing that.
Yeah.
Is there any type of some players have meals or pump-up songs that they listen to music-wise? Is there anything like that that gets you ready before a game?
Honestly, no. I listen to I listen to whatever's playing, and I'll just kind of vibe to it. But I don't really have AirPods in or anything like that while I'm running or nothing. I just find a way to motivate myself through whatever somebody else is playing.
Yeah. Hey, if it can be out in the open and you just kind of vibe in the moment and soak it all in, that's
exactly.
a plus too. Is there any coach or teacher or it could be an older brother, sister, or sibling, or aunt or uncle that helped you get to where you are today?
So my old coach, Marissa Brown, I had her for my freshman and my sophomore year. And I also had her as a teacher. She was my STEM teacher in 5th grade all the way until I went into high school. She shaped me and motivated me in every shape and form, schoolwork, all the book work, and then, of course, in the soccer field. She motivated me to continue my passion of what I love. She motivated me. She really did. She told me, you have skills that not everybody can be fortunate to have. And she made me want to prove to other people that I am different. I can play really hard, and a lot of people notice it, not just her.
Oh, good. That's always fun to hear.
Yeah.
Last one I have that's on the list that I do is I always give people 30 seconds to thank their parents for everything that they do. So if you have some time now to thank them for all that they do, here you go.
All right. So I'd like to thank my parents, especially. They've been there for all the practices, late nights. They'd make meals at 10 o'clock at night because, those late games, especially in high school. I'd also like to thank my grandparents. When I was younger, they'd be the one taking me to practices, to games, all the stuff that comes with soccer, all the laundry, all the soccer bags, all the cleats they've ever bought. But yeah.
No, absolutely. You're about the 8th person that I've interviewed in laundry. You're absolutely right. There's so much laundry, and there's so much either dirt or now with that there's turf, all that rubber pellets that are in the laundry.
Oh yeah, it's all over the floor for sure.
All right, well, you are on pace. Right now you have 22 career shutouts, which is very high. It puts you second on the list in our career for our greater, Mahoning Valley area. That's impressive. Moving forward for your senior year, what are your team goals for what kind of success you want this season?
So for the team, we have a lot of incoming players. To be honest, I'm not sure if any of them have ever played soccer other than rec. Just for fun. I'm not sure if any of them have interest in it. I'm hoping we can, train those younger players. It's a fun game, but you got to put in the work. And I hope for my senior year, I'd like another district title. We didn't lose that many players this last year. So with a new bunch of freshmen, I'm hoping we can fill in that one position that we lost, which was our defender.
Yeah, and having that strong defenders in front of you is definitely something you would want to have more of, I'm sure.
I love my defenders.
How about individual goals that you have coming up for this season?
I'm hoping to get a couple offers from colleges. I haven't gotten any of those in the mail yet, believe it or not. I'm hoping to see a few. I know, I'm hoping to see a few. Other than that, I'd like to play into college, if that's possible. But I'm not sure what I do in college, so there's that.
Okay, well, I think second team All-State as a junior, and if you continue to grow like you are and have been, maybe first team All-State, and maybe that's when they'll start to roll in at that point. But I wish you all the luck. Thank you for your time today, and good luck in the season.
Thank you for your time as well.
All right, we're here with Mooney sophomore Angel Alvarez, who is last season Steel Valley Soccer Elite 11, first team All-District, first team All-Conference, second team All-State, in the Conference Player of the Year. Angel, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. How old were you? About what age did you start to realize that you were better than some of the players? You were an above-average player.
I didn't really realize it myself. You know what I mean? People were telling me that, you would go far, because you dribble past your kids easy. You should be playing up with older kids. You know what I mean? It wasn't really that I realized. It was people telling me.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're that good, people tell you. You don't have to tell people. But what was when did you start playing, and what was your arc? Meaning, a lot of players start off with rec league, and then they go to travel, then they go to club. So when did you start, and what teams did you play on?
I started playing soccer really as soon as I was born, and I started playing club about 6 years old. I went straight to club. I didn't play travel. Nice. Well, I started playing club in Florida for a team named Elite, and then I moved down here.
Where in Florida were you at?
West Palm Beach.
Nice. West Palm Beach is a very nice area.
Yeah.
As I look here, you play for what, TCSC now?
Yes, I do play for TCSC.
What made you pick that club over others?
I only picked it because of accessibility. It was the most accessible club for me.
Nice. It's Mo does a nice job out there. They win a lot of tournaments. I think I've seen you in a couple of them up in Edinburgh this past summer. My daughter plays, and she's been in a couple.
Yeah, you probably might have seen it.
As a sophomore, I think you started both years, freshman year and sophomore year. It says you play tennis as well. So it seems like you're well-rounded. How did you get into that?
Into tennis?
Yes.
Well, I only played it because my friends played it, and I only played my freshman year. I don't play this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are we at here? 4. Your favorite soccer memory that you have so far?
My favorite soccer memory was actually last year, my freshman year, when we were in the regional championship, and I came on and scored the first goal to break the tie.
Get out.
And I was in for 30 seconds and scored as soon as I came on.
Man, that's got to be a great feeling. You knew the coach made the right decision putting you in that game.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, that's your favorite one. But what do you think is your greatest soccer accomplishment so far?
Probably being able to play my freshman year and being a key factor in my team making it far, or getting my All-State achievement this year.
Oh, absolutely. Not everybody can say they're an all-state player, and you're definitely one of them. Do you have anything, because, the pressure can get to you in big games, do you have any type of pregame routines, a certain type of food you eat, or certain type of song that you listen to before any type of big games?
Usually I just listen to music, and when I step on the field before the game starts, I usually take a couple of deep breaths to calm me down. And that's usually about it. I don't do nothing special before games.
Is there a particular song or just whatever you're feeling at the moment?
Particularly songs, I guess, Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill.
Ooh,
that
nice.
hypes me up. Yeah.
I'm a fan of that one as well.
Yeah. A lot of people are.
Growing up, is there any teacher or former coach or any maybe big brother, big sister that you want to thank and has helped you get to the position that you're in today?
My dad, because he pushed me my entire life to be the best that I can, and he's helped me throughout my whole entire life. So, yeah, my dad.
Absolutely. Looking forward to next year, they're changing up some divisions. You guys might be in a Division 4 now instead of Division, I think you were Division 2 this past year.
Yeah.
What's some of the team goals that you're already setting here in the off season?
District championship, that's not an option. Since we're going down, we're going down divisions, and we hope to make it farther than we did last year or this year.
Absolutely. Now, Coach Britton, is there any phrase or thing that he repeats? Some coaches say, this, I always, when I coached, I always told the kids, if you shoot at nothing, you're going to hit nothing. So aim low into a corner, low into a corner. It got to the point where they would start to laugh at me when I said it. Is there anything that Coach Britton says that kind of has the players laughing or, joking about it?
To not turn off. Like, for example, we're up, we score, to not let off the pedal, to keep going, because that could really hurt you in a game if you let off the pedal.
Absolutely. Last couple questions. Moving forward, I know you only completed your senior year, going to be a junior next year. Are you thinking about playing soccer in college?
I am.
Is there any type of schools that you've already thought about, like, hey, that'd be a good school to go to, or you want to keep that to yourself? It's up to you.
I could tell you Akron is one of them, Notre Dame, because I watched Notre Dame last year when they made it to national championship. So Notre Dame or Akron, maybe even like Wake Forest or something.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially someone who has a 3.8 GPA, who's, all-state as a sophomore, I think you're going to be able to have those opportunities moving ahead.
Yeah, hopefully.
Last thing, you play a center mid position. Is it like a defensive center, attacking center, or just a general center mid?
At the beginning of the season, I played an attacking mid, but towards like half the season, I moved to a defensive midfielder.
Yeah, because if you look at your stats, you had 5 goals, 11 assists, but that's from a defensive center mid position. That's a little bit, unusual for a defender to get those kind of stats. So you're doing a very nice job.
Yeah, thank you.
So, yeah, that's all I have. Thanks for spending your time on a Sunday with us, and I wish you the best of luck next year.
All right, thank you for the interview.
All right, we're here with Sophia Generalovich, who was in her freshman and sophomore year, second team all-district, second team all-conference, but this past junior year, first team all district, first team all conference, conference player of the year, second team all Steel Valley, and second team all state. Sophia, how you doing today?
I'm good.
Good. About what age were you when you realized that you were an above average player, better than a lot of them?
I think probably when I was like 11 or 12, when I was playing in club and I would always play up with the older girls, I probably realized I was a little better and obviously bigger because I'm tall. And yeah, that's really when I realized.
So,
And also, like probably my freshman year, like when I was playing up, like I started varsity like all my freshman year. And that's when I realized like I was a little better.
yeah, 3-year letterman, 3-year starter. When did you start playing, and did you start off with rec and then go to traveling club, or how did that work?
I started playing at age 7, and I played rec, I think, for 2 years, and then started club at age 9.
Okay. I see now it says you play for internationals. How'd you get hooked up with them, and how'd you make that choice?
So right now I'm actually playing with SVA. I played with internationals last year. I've kind of always been, throughout high school, I've been all over the place with clubs. My freshman and sophomore year, I played for FC Evolution, the GA team, but they kind of fell apart a little bit. So I played for internationals going to my junior year. But this year I played basketball, so I had to play for a club that was a little closer to home. So now I'm playing for SVA.
That makes sense, and that's a tough decision to make, I'm sure. What do you think is your greatest soccer accomplishment?
I think so far my greatest accomplishment would probably be earning Player of the Year in my conference this year, or making the All-State team this year.
Yeah, absolutely. There's only one conference player of the year out of, dozens and dozens of players, and second team all-state. Not everybody can say they're all-state, but the best can. That being your greatest accomplishment, what do you think is your favorite soccer memory?
My favorite memory is definitely sophomore year, my team's district final win against Mooney, because I had the only goal that game. So that was definitely my favorite memory. It was just such a fun game, and yeah.
Yeah, that's one that'll probably stick with you till you're, as old as I am.
Yeah.
So you have that. When you get ready for games, it's a lot of pressure on people, especially someone who's a goal scorer. They're kind of relying on you to put the points on the board. Is there any type of pre-game routine you do, like food you eat, music you listen to, or a specific song?
I don't really have a pregame routine. I think I just listen to music, but if I had to pick like a specific pregame song, it would probably be No Friends in the Industry by Drake.
Okay.
But yeah, that's it for really my pregame stuff. So
most people say that they put the headphones in, they listen to music. Some people are like, no, I want either complete silence or whatever the sounds of the stadium are. So it's an interesting mix.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is there a teacher or coach or brother, sister, aunt, and uncle, whoever, someone that helped shape you into the person you are today?
I really think that Huda, like my high school coach, he really has helped me a lot in soccer and everything else. And he's always just trying to help us in whatever we need, whether it's school or if you want to stay after practice, extra touches, anything. And just throughout my high school years, he's really been a great coach for me, and more than that. So
yeah, he's a super nice guy. It's fun to talk to him after games too, win, lose, or draw. But usually the last out of the 10 that I preface it with are take 30 seconds or some time to thank your parents for everything that they've done for you in your soccer, and maybe not just soccer career. Oh
yeah, definitely. I would definitely thank my mom and dad, because without them, like I wouldn't be anywhere I am without soccer. I mean, with soccer, sorry. Like they've taken me to all my club games so far away. I mean, some we've had to fly to. It's just like they've done so much and given up so much time so I can excel. And I really wouldn't be where I'm at without them.
Absolutely. Let's hope they enjoy hearing that one. You said 2022, you guys were district champs, didn't win it last year. You're losing 4 seniors going into next season. What are some of your team goals that you guys have already been working on in the off season?
Yeah, losing Mary and especially Leanne is a big hit to our back line. So I think that we need to work on defensively being a better team. We're still there offensively because we'll have like Ava Blinsky coming back, and Leah Hudak was really good, Eliana Thompson, and up front. But like we'll probably need to work on our back line a lot more, and I really think we'll be fine. So
how about personal goals? Like I know being second team All-State Conference Player of the Year, are those still things that you are working towards, or is it kind of like, hey, let's focus more on something else, I guess, like an Offensive Player of the Year or something different?
Yeah, I'm probably going to strive for All-State again, but I'm really more of a team person. Like, I'm just looking for the goals for the team. Like, whatever comes with my personal accomplishments comes just because of my teammates and all of that. But, yeah, that's really all.
All right, well, good. Well, thank you so much for spending your Sunday with us. I appreciate the interview, and good luck during the season.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Pitchmen, a Steel Valley Soccer production. Email us at steelvalleysvs@gmail.com to give suggestions, corrections, or any comments you want us to hear. For more information, go to steelvalleysoccer.com.